Well, howdy, folks. How y'all doing? I thought I would check in and see how y'all doing today. Actually, I had several questions that came my way about the book, so I thought I would touch on that, plus some of the bullshit bloggers I've met here. I'll start off with the books. Okay, so got an order from Gumdrop Publishing, which is one of the big Gumdrop Books in Missouri. It's one of the biggest distributors to libraries, where there's something like 17,000 libraries in America when you count up the college libraries, the public libraries, high schools. I mean, it goes into well over 20,000 when you add bookmobiles and stuff. So, got an order for 5,000 for one of the HVAC books. Now, unfortunately, the list price on that is $129, and by the time you have to discount it, taxes, their fee, I end up with about $29 a book. But it's 5,000 of them, $149,000, and then you got to pay, of course, taxes on it. You end up with about 105, 110 grand for that one purchase. So Gumdrop and Ingram Spark, which is probably the biggest, they are so heavily involved in that market, which is the market we're targeting. And then there could be over 30 volumes coming. So we're working on deals, plus we have some independent books and stuff, but pretty soon the money's going to dwarf the job, salary, all that. So it's going to have to make some decisions here. If you want to get involved in creating and publishing books and you have any questions, please let me know, because I've spent months and months and months wading through the mess and the scam. And there's a lot of scam out there where you're giving, there's certain scenarios if you do self-publishing where you could literally be giving away about 95% of the profit. So you have to watch out. But, of course, they have to print the book. They have to distribute it. There's so many middlemen involved. I do understand it to an extent, but there's a way to do it through Ingram Spark, Gumdrop, different organizations that have been around for decades that dominate that part of the industry. And then there's a lot of shysters out there, so you just have to be careful. The girls have been publishing their books. These are mainly going to be distributed in Filipino circles. They've got an agreement to distribute physical books into the organization, fully booked. Those are physical bookstores. So we'll see. They're both working about 50 to 60 hours a week now, and they're loving every minute of it. So we've been very busy. But, we take a little time here and there. And I was finally, I never watched vloggers because I've met every vlogger practically. 99% of them are just useless scumbags. But there's some new ones. There was one of the very popular, one in Da Nang. And you go back and listen to his last few years. Da Nang, Da Nang, Da Nang. Everything is Da Nang. It's the greatest place in the world. No life outside of it. And you have, all of a sudden he moves. Now Da Nang sucks. The next place is the place to be. And he's going to help you avoid all the scams. And he's going to... I literally can't take it. I've met dozens of these people There's not hardly any of them. I'm not going to say there's none, but almost none of them are employable. Almost none of them could hold a job in a decent company, let alone a Fortune 500 company. And it made me think, with these guys are the biggest scammers out there. They always have to have a new angle to try to get you dependent on them. And the reality, I think I traveled to over 80 countries before I ever watched my first vlog. Okay, I've watched vlogs, but I'm thinking back, what did we used to do before vloggers? You know what we would do? You'd go to the hotel, you'd ask them, hey, where's a good steakhouse? Hey, where do you want to eat? Where's a good place to go? You ask the taxi driver, you ask the lady at the shop, you ask hotel clerk, and amazingly, and then you meet other expats or travelers, you get all your answers from people that are actually there. You don't have to deal with all of the BS. Every person, they're an expert on dating, although it doesn't look like it when you meet them. They're an expert on finance, even though they all live in fan rooms. And the whole thing's a scam. Pay me to help you. I don't know how they could help you when most of them look like they can't even help themselves. So I would say to people, avoid any of it and just show up, use Google, ask around once you get to the location. Stop listening to these people. Their whole life depends on coming up with the next scam, the next little nugget that you need for your first 90 days on the ground. They'll consult you, they'll give you their time. Of course they'll give you their time. They got nothing at all to do. It's painful. I never watch this shit, but every once in a while, when I have a little bit of free time, I'll try to watch it, and then I do, and I go, oh my gosh, it enrages me every time. All right, so that's what's going on here. Nonstop work, and just living life. And it's been a lot of fun. It's amazing. Heading out to Australia soon, and then over to Europe. Got a trip over there, and then we'll be back for most of the summer, I think, in Da Nang, so we can hit the beach every day. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, let me know. God bless you.